my job. My new job. It's probably the best job I've ever had. Although the old one was pretty good. But look, times change, things happen. And I've got what they call transferable skills. Good customer service, people facing. I can serve a drink on a silver tray at 30,000 feet without spilling a drop. Disable a drunk man discreetly and soothe a frightened passenger when I see that look in their eyes. And never let them see that look in my eyes when the pilot gives us the code words for more than just turbulence. Keep them calm. But my airline died overnight, literally, and I could have just sat around and worried about when flying would start again, but that is not me. I'm a doer, a positive person. Now everything is different. Now I serve tea in the nicest cup I can find. I listen more, much more. Sometimes I just sit in silence holding someone's hand or not holding their hand, whatever they want. Just sitting with them, near them. I'm learning when to speak and when to let them spend as long as they need finding the lost words. Sometimes they never find them. I am learning to walk down a corridor that must seem endless, holding someone's arm gently so I don't bruise them, and softly folding someone's legs onto the footpads of a wheelchair and opening the door to sweet fresh air. That's something I never get tired of. Getting used to the pace. Oh, that's taken me a while. Just slowing everything right down. There are very few clocks in here because time doesn't have that much meaning. Before it was all about takeoff and schedules. And right, 15 minutes into being airborne, get the trolley ready, get the napkins out, make sure the seatbelt signs have gone off, and then up and at 'em with the lunch choices. I won't lie. I do miss it. I miss takeoffs the most. That view from the windows. Watching the sky turn silver, then black, and then the bright burning blue and the arc of light as the plane banks. But this, now, what I am now, this is all new. And new is good. June's 94 today. Very upright. Cheekbones and eyes keen and sharp. Bright white hair pulled back into a bun. I know how to do it now, how she likes it, so it doesn't hurt her. Happy birthday, I say. She doesn't look at me. This is normal. Thank you, Jade, she says, after a while. I got you something, I say. Look. She doesn't look. I've never set much stock by birthdays, she says, but I am very grateful to you, my dear, for taking the time and trouble. She does have visitors, but they sometimes look as though they'd rather not be here. Reluctant passengers, I know all about those. Is there anything I can do for you? I say. Still doesn't look at me. There is something I would like to ask you, she says. Please refrain from ever calling me dear, or love, or darling, or babe. Please call me Mrs. Wooden, or June, or call me nothing, but I beg of you, please, I wouldn't dream of it. June, I say. And she almost smiles. I see her mouth curl up slightly at the corners. We're not supposed to have favourites, but June is herself. She can spend hours looking out at the birds, and we sit in silence together. She's a very calm person to sit with. I sometimes forget it's a job. She looks at the larks particularly, as they circle and wheel in the sky. And then she will sigh and ask me to take her in. Or she will ask me to play some music before I leave. She has an Alexa, but her voice isn't always strong enough to make it work. Would you ask that girl to play some Vaughan Williams? She says. I've tried, but sometimes it comes out all wrong. The other day it was Robbie Williams. Most unwanted.
Today she asks me to take her outside, and we sit in the late afternoon sun and watch the birds. The sky is the most incredible blue. I used to fly, she says. We all did, I say. I flew, she says. Where did you go? I say. On holiday? Before all this? No, she says, crisply. I flew Spitfires, Wellingtons, Lancasters, all the bombers. 10 minutes to learn the logbook, get in and take off. She's completely still. I hold my breath, willing her to say more, and when she doesn't, I say, in the war. Of course in the war. If her son were here now, he'd be rolling his eyes at me. That's what he does whenever she says anything. Oh, Mum, you don't want to go on about the past. Which was your favourite? I say. The Spitfires were everyone's favourites. They flew like a bird and landed like a cat. Once you'd gone up in a Spitfire, you never wanted to fly anything else. But we flew whatever we were given. All of us, all the girls. We loved the Spitfires. It was like touching the sun. Do you see? She tilts her head back. A rare plane goes overhead. The trail is broad and white and it's silent. That used to be my route, I say without thinking. Serving gin and tonic at 30,000 feet to businessmen. Don't you miss it? Being up there, touching heaven? No, I say, no. I'm earthbound now. Do you miss it? She doesn't answer. Are you cold? I tuck the blanket over her feet. A little, she says. Shall we go in? No. Not yet. Not until we have to. We look up at the sky turning bluish black. There's a star. Just one. North Star, she says. My guiding light. That was how I knew where to go when it started to get dark and I was still up there. Alone. Always alone. Just me and the birds. I get the gift I have for her out of my bag. I don't know if she'll like it. I don't know if she'll really understand why I brought it, but here it is anyway. I don't know if, I say, hesitating. I'm usually very clear-cut and simple with what I say and offer to people in here, because that seems to work best, but I just thought... She still doesn't look at me. June, I just thought you might like these because did you want to remain a stewardess all your life? She says suddenly. And I don't know what to say. Well, I never really thought about it. Did you never want to fly the damn plane yourself? I have to look away. Well, speak up. Yes, I say. And it's a relief to admit it. Yes, I wanted to fly the damn plane. Well, what's stopping you? She doesn't understand. I can't just... I was 14 when I started flying. And nothing would have stopped me. Nothing on earth. It's not that simple. How old are you? 24, 25? I'm 30, I say. And saying it out loud scares me. I've done so little, and she's done so much. 30. Pauline was 30. That's a good age. Pauline, I say, is she wondering? Pauline Gower, my CO. And before I have a chance to ask her what that means, she interrupts crisply. Commanding officer, got women flying in the war. Oh, for goodness sake, look it up. Isn't that what you do now? Look everything up. Educate yourself. She's getting irritable now. It might be tiredness. It might be old age. It might be... From when I was a little girl, I always wanted to fly. And my father had an old biplane used to spray crops on our farm. It was broken, hadn't been flown in years. And I asked him if he'd let me go up in it. And he thought about it, and he laughed to himself. And he said, all right, Junie, if you can repair it, you can fly it. And he thought I wouldn't do it. He thought I wouldn't have the patience. But when you really want something... She shivers. Let's go in, I say. Let us not, she says firmly. Do you know that when I have to go into my room, I lay in the same position all night long until the girl comes in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and on it will go, night after night and morning after morning until I can't fly any more. So, let us sit. I unwrap the silly gift I have for her. It's sunglasses, because she likes to turn her face up to the sun. I put them in her hands, and she doesn't move for a while, and then she puts them on. Thank you, she says. Oh, I can see her now, in that cockpit, eyes blank and black, taking off. When I bought them, I didn't know. Finally, she looks at me. You can do something else for me, she says. Learn to fly. And she takes off the sunglasses. And she winks. I think she winks at me. Learn to fly. Alone, always alone, alone, so far from home. North Star, my guiding light. I touch heaven. I watch the sky turn silver and black. Alone, always alone, alone, so